we're going to talk about all-in policies.
Okay.
I think one of the things that's important to understand for all-in policies, right? Especially if the association is under MCIOA, Minnesota Common Interest Ownership Act. There's a little clause in the state statute, but most of the time in the association's documents as well.
Yep.
When it comes to, you have to have a policy that's all in, so a policy that will cover the rebuilding of the home. The difference is it may or may not include betterments and improvements,
Right.
finishings, right? So it's kind of a gray area. It gives the board discretion. Does this policy, we've got to rebuild the unit, but can we build it to the original specs? Or do we have to build it as it is today with betterments and improvements?
Yep.
And one of the things I like to talk about that is, my advice to a board is when it says may or may not, because that's like, when it comes to lawyers, right? They like one of two words, may or shall.
Or depends.
Or it depends. You're right. They like that word too. When it comes to writing governing documents, may gives discretion.
Yep.
Shall makes it very clear.
Yes.
And I always would advise the board when they're working with their insurance to create their policy, have it be all in. Include everything.
Yep.
Include betterments and improvements.
Yes.
Have you ever been a part of a claim that doesn't include betterments and improvements, where it just got messy?
Yes. Okay. So water intrusion that affected the interior of 12 different units.
Sure.
That claim was actually, it went beyond just not including that. That particular claim was denied, and we ended up fighting it it didn't get to court, but we spent, about 5% of the total loss on retaining
Settling
an attorney.
it. Sure. Yeah.
And we ended up with a 100% settlement on it. So
you wasted time and money, right?
Exactly, yeah. And that was because their policy wasn't written very clearly.
Sure.
It was up for debate. Insurance carriers, it's not beyond them to try to deny a claim if they feel like they can.
Right.
So yeah, really knowing what policy you have and selecting the correct policy is key.
Or if it doesn't, it's those betterments and improvements, right?
Yeah.
So I mentioned claims get messy because, it's a $20,000 loss, but that $20,000 only covers the laminate countertops that this place was built with.
Right.
And I know, Greg, you had granite countertops. So sorry, here's, it's less $800.
Yeah.
So you've got to figure that out. It just gets messy.
Yeah.
Right?
And when people know they have insurance, they assume it's going to be replacement of what they have.
Right.
Right.
And here's the last thing of why I'll say it's better just to be all in. Eliminate all those variables. Eliminate the grayness. Just make it black and white. Everything is covered. Because really the difference with betterments and improvements being included or not being included, it comes down to premium, right? So a premium for an insurance policy is based on the building value.
Yep.
Right? That's how they calculate it.
Yep.
So if it's a $30 million building, here's your premium.
Yep.
The difference in premium for all in, or the difference in the value of the building for a policy that might include betterments, improvements versus not is minimal. It's negligible. So, because they don't know, because an underwriter is not going to come into a building and look at every countertop and look at every piece of flooring and inventory every unit and what they have.
Yeah.
They're just going to say betterments and improvements is included.
Yeah.
So this condo building needs a $32 million policy to rebuild it for what it is today.
Today, yes.
If the board said, no, we want to try and save some money on insurance, let's do original specifications and not include the betterments and improvements.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a $30 million policy instead of a $32 million policy.
There's better places to save money.
And that the money is saved is minimal.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So when it comes to all-in policies that include betterments and improvements, when the board has the option, like MCIOA gives the board the authority, and like most documents give the board the discretion.
Yeah.
Just cross all your T's and dot your I's and cover everything.
Yeah. Just do it.
Just do it.
It's worth it.
It's worth it. Insurance, right?
Yeah. That's the whole point of insurance.
That's right. It's there when you need it. Right. All right.
Cool. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you.